25th time's the charm. Ooh, I hear myself. I
Nope.
don't, sorry.
Nothing.
Mm. Yeah, I hear me and Mark.
Interesting. I wonder where it could be going wrong. Because we've got him here. We've got you here. So yeah, it's got to be something
It,
on the stream.
it's something to do with the stream. Maybe OBS?
Hmm.
Oh man, this is getting confusing. I'm gonna real quick deafen myself on Discord just to see if this is something.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Something's going on there.
Now I've come across a second problem. I can't tell when Bob's talking to see if the thing works.
I can like kind of watch his mouth move.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
'Cause
still
we
not
can
getting any
hear you
sound
on
from him.
Discord. Is Twitch like using some kind of default mic? Like sometimes when I do it, it comes through my neighbor's Bluetooth lawnmower, and that's just the default for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear you about that.
You've already rebooted your computer, so it's probably not a technical, like a computer malfunction. It's got to be something in the OBS or in the Twitch.
Yeah. Mm.
Mm.
Worst case scenario, something that we might be able to do is I could stream my end and you could host it on Bonway. And, I can pick up your Discord audio just fine through that. It's not perfect, but, it's something. I won't have any of the overlays or anything, but,
Yeah.
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 Roger that.
Yeah.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Oh, if we still
Yep.
come through, then all right. I won't start my plan to overthrow the government yet. Which government,
Yeah.
you ask? All of them. I long for
I was about to
one
say
government underneath.
if it's the one I think it is, it wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah. It's funny because everybody's fucking crazy all the time, always.
Always.
Everyone thinks of a different thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Pakistan, India, Russia, America, Australia, All of it and more. We'll get it done.
Yeah, man. Just reset the clock. Start it over.
Reset the clock.
Let's be a
Under
James
my
Bond villain.
iron fist.
Let's do James Bond villain time and just restart.
We'll kick butt at James Bond villainy.
We
Because
will.
here's the thing. We're not bound by James Bond villain rules. We're not
Mhm.
going to tell the secret agent all of our plots. Our monologuing fixation is dealt with through playing tabletop games.
Well, I don't know. I hate to
Testing.
spoil that particular one.
Yeah.
I probably won't do some monologuing.
Yeah, I
That's
I
fair.
probably would too.
So long as you're sure you can kill them. Like, don't leave them alone. Just like, aha, here's my evil plan. Have you got any recording devices on you?
there's
No?
the,
Excellent. Let's do it.
I'm a lover,
if
not a
you-
fighter.
No.
I'm sure the other guys can handle it.
Yeah. I'm reminded of the monologue at the end of oh fuck, what's the name of it? Dark superhero thing.
The boys?
Blue Man. No.
Blue Man. Oh, Watchmen.
Watchmen. The monologue at the end of Watchmen where it's
Yes.
the
I
the
did
guy,
it 15 minutes
yeah,
ago.
I did it 15
Blue
minutes
Man.
ago.
That's good stuff. Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Blue Man.
Yeah,
The Blue
love
Man
the
Group.
bit- yeah, I love that bit in the Watchmen where Rorschach
Mm.
was facing up against a bunch of impressionist musicians. That was, frankly,
Yeah.
best part of the film.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
It's great. No,
Yeah,
definitely.
I
it
like
was
the
like, I
squib.
see the darkness that lurks in the hearts of men. And then they were like,
Yeah. I
Hmm.
think if Rorschach like chilled for a little bit, he'd probably be a good like jazz singer. He'd probably be fun at that.
I think he could do jazz.
All right, let's
could do
see.
jazz.
Whoa,
It's
that
insane.
looks crazy.
Uh,
Let's see if
Oh.
that works. And if
Oh.
I'm going, am I going like over on it? Because it's
I
going
hear a
full
Bob.
red.
I hear
Yeah,
a
I
Bob
hear
on
you.
stream.
yep, we can hear you.
Is it
Yay.
good quality?
Yeah,
seems
sounds good to
fine.
me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I have no idea.
The
It's just
Bob.
on aux. It's going crazy. Okay, yeah, we can begin. Yay! All
Hell
right.
yeah. Let me twist my spine so my ribs pop. There we go.
Oh.
That doesn't sound good if I say it aloud. But it's fine.
Give me a pen. All right, I'm back, and we're gonna get started. So let's do this. Hi everyone. Welcome to Pendragon. We had a hell of a time getting this going tonight. Year is 482. We're in the Age of Uther. Gonna go ahead and rip down the list. I'm Bob, the GM. Probably you know that by now if you're jumping into this, but if you randomly pick this video for no reason, yeah, we have a Pendragon game. You're watching it. Go watch the earlier episodes and it'll make a lot more sense. And Thomas.
Oh yeah, those are some good ones.
Hello, I'm Thomas. I play Sir Gortrix. It's good to be back. I have missed my boy, and I have missed my fellow knights. But yeah, not much has happened. I was mugged by the Possum Mafia. I'll get into that later.
And Mark.
All right. Hello, I am Mark, and it's good to see all of you who are in the chat and ready to watch us play some Pendragon. I will be playing Sir Edward of Edmiston, I think.
That's right.
I'll check that later. And yeah, I'm excited to fuck some shit up.
Perfect. Liam.
Hey, what's the matter with you? I'm Liam. I'm in charge of the Possum Mafia that's been raiding Thomas's house. I play Sir Dallin of Darnford, and I am also very excited. It's been forever, and I missed my boys, so I'm ready to. I think we're going to war. Am I right?
You are.
I think we're going to war
we-
today.
We stopped the thing because technical difficulties happened before we went to a recap. But yes, a lady knight came in, and Sir Dalen failed at flirting with her.
It was awful.
We, for somehow, Goratrix was possessed by the spirits of his ancestors to be socially competent in a way that didn't involve drinking or fighting. And we secured a meeting between her and our liege lord. And she talked about stuff, we talked about stuff, and yes, we're fighting a wizard, I think. In Summerhall.
Yes, Wizard King.
All right, that was a pretty good summary. Yes, indeed. So we're going to pull open this map. The players should already see it in Roll20, the one that looks like it was done in crayon.
Those are the best kinds of maps. That's how you know shit's getting real, you know? Like, you see an overly produced map and you're like, oh, well, there's no way that somebody, like, put that much effort into this. And then you see this and you're like, oh, yeah, somebody fucking walked through the Amazon with a piece of wet parchment and a shitty pencil and they made this map. That's how you know it's good.
Every time they went over the hill, just slightly brown mark. They got it. Each
Exactly.
So just real quick on this war, you've been called to muster, this time in Castle of the Rock, which is where you frequent when you're going to, that is the Count Roderick's hold in Sarum. That is the castle itself. It's called Castle of the Rock.
Where is Summerhall?
On this map, it is Somerset.
Oh, Somerset. I've been to Somerset.
I got that right?
Yep.
Yeah, so let's get underway. Give me 1 sec here.
And they are a close neighbor. Jesus.
They are indeed, which is why you're mustering in your count's land this time and not somewhere else. All right, so we're going to begin just kind of with some general kind of logistics. So actually, we'll get everyone to test battle. Why not? That's a fun thing. See how much you're able to determine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Dallin's so good at battle, you guys. Dallin's so good at battle.
It's battle.
Hey, success. Oh, Dalen.
What'd I get? I'm scrolled up. I can't see.
You
Yeah!
got a critical.
Hey!
You are so good at battle.
I am so
That's
good
an
at
automatic check on battle.
Yeah.
battle. Yeah! Oh,
That's right.
We are battle boys.
make me commander of your armies. I will do good. I swear it. Please. Please.
That everyone passed? Wow, that doesn't happen
Yeah,
often
everyone
in Pendragon.
Oh, yeah.
Not without passions. All right, so just kind of a general piece here, just the logistics that you know thus far, as you're getting ready to ride out for Summerland. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
All right, so the king is King Cadwy. He is the Magician King, as his name. He has not bent the knee, so this is why you're going. King himself is here. So the king has actually come to your land, to Salisbury. As you muster, there are 750 knights that have mustered, 1,500 soldiers. Your count himself is not going. Neither are a few of the other lords. I'm going to get you to go ahead and test intrigue.
That is another job for Dalen, but I'm gonna.
Ready to fail.
Oh, critical!
Yeah.
Somewhere his father is just like, no. Keep an eye on who isn't here.
We're 2 crits out of 2 checks, and this is
Yeah.
before the battle. Let's see how our luck like horribly turns on us.
Oh yeah,
at
we're
the
gonna
worst
fumble
possible
so
moment.
many times.
Right? Okay, so you both get the following. Like those, both Goretrix and Dalen get the following. You know that the Count of Cornwall has not shown yet again. Muster, and the king is noticeably annoyed by it.
Of Cornwall, that's
Duke of Cornwall.
Gorlow,
sorry.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was a bishop. Wasn't it a bishop that was in
No,
charge
there-
of Cornwall?
No,
No.
there is
Oh,
a bishop in Cornwall. He was the one. So if you're thinking of the bishop from Cornwall, he was the one that you sensed wasn't on. He was part of the collegiate or whatever, the collegium.
Right.
Yeah.
And
You're
he
right.
didn't
You're
vote.
right.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember. Okay.
So Clorlois is not here. Neither are some of the nearby places. Gigant, for example. So you know Robert of Gigant, your buddy. Yeah. Ooh, this is like Christmas. What? Too bad the first one was great. There we go. It makes sense. Medieval fantasy epic music that's copyright free. So, all right. So that's a big deal. King's not happy. That's a considerable amount. That being said, your battle tests tell you that this is more than enough for an invasion of Summerland. If you're not going to conquer it, you're definitely going to raise it to the ground. This kind of army.
We got this. I may not be able to count past 500, but that's 500 and I think half again of knights.
In addition to that, so the intrigue test for Dallin, or no, who critical? Gortrix?
Gortrix.
Yeah. On intrigue, come on battle.
Easy to do. You know the Count Roderick of Salisbury he's had his eyes on a particular place for a long time. It's lands that fell in previous generations and are no longer part of Salisbury, but technically should be. So he considers it part of his demesnes. You imagine that the Count of Salisbury, along with Sparrowhawk and Lear, are not present because they're going to press claims elsewhere. So even though they're not joining and they're sending troops instead, they're likely gathering soldiers. Some of the soldiers are staying behind to press claim on the areas that surround them immediately. So it's kind of it works in the king's favor, more or less. Clearly the king's not upset about it, but it's kind of a bit more selfish. And you're getting that purely because of the critical.
That's a Sparrowland and Lear, right?
Sparrowhawk and Lear.
Sparrowhawk and Lear. Sparrowhawk.
And you don't know their names. Like, you know them as Lord of Sparrowhawk, Lord of Lear Castle.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Sparrowhawk to do what?
Right?
No, I said that at dinner once, and then my mother glared at me, and then I had a lecture about politics. Anyway, so here's what I know about them.
All right. So you know what Roderick's after is likely Westford and Wheelwell. They're hundreds.
Westford and Wheelwell.
Yeah. Have I explained hundreds?
No, I don't know.
That's too bad because I don't have a
have.
readily accessible definition other than to say it's kind of land. Right?
Yeah,
it's
it is
how
a
land
bit
is
of
divided.
land, less than an acre.
It's how our land is divided, I think, at its smallest form right now in the kingdom.
What lands were those again?
Westford and Wheelwell. And they
Westford
would be
and Wheelwell. What?
They're in your northwest border, basically. Respectively, right?
Perfect.
So, and that could be easy claim for why you're up on the northwest of Salisbury. All right.
I wonder if I could lay claim on it. That wouldn't end well at all.
Very bad decision.
So we're gonna put a new passion on your sheet, but we're gonna do a little bit of checking in with folks because they think it's a fun piece. So and I'm gonna give you different dice rolls based on your answers. So we're gonna pick on Gortrix first.
All right.
So you have what's your loyalty lord right now?
Loyalty lord is 15.
15. How much does that, in Gortrix's eyes, reflect his loyalty upward to Uther, and Uther's goals specifically of conquering one kingdom?
Goratrix believes that it is a knight's duty to serve his lord, and that goes up all the way to, at the moment, Uther. Goratrix thinks that Uther probably should have inherited the whole thing from the get-go. he doesn't like going to war with his countrymen, but he will do it. He likes battle, even if he doesn't like the killing, and he thinks it would be nice to have one of his friends, that is to say, what are we calling him? Yes, and that is to say, Maddox, achieve really cool things. I bet he'll like it.
Okay, and lastly, how much do you trust Uther as your king? Versus how much do you fear a ruthless king that would do anything to unite the kingdom?
If he's heard stories about kings who have been bad in the past, they've died after brutal, long wars. But as it is, Uther seems fine. He's seen him in battle, and I have... Ooh, hold on. He's heard good things about Uther and likes him quite a bit. He worries, of course, that there will be problems, and power does corrupt, but yeah, he likes him.
And he trusts in his overall goals of uniting the kingdom, and doesn't... I imagine Gortrix isn't someone that overthinks probably the potential of what you might have to do yourself to achieve it.
Yeah, if he thinks normally, he gets a bit of a headache. So he's mostly fine with what's going on.
Okay. So in that case,
wishes there was less war.
Yep. And so in that case, let's do. You're gonna make an homage, Uther. That's your new homage. You're making a roll. You're doing 2d6 plus 6, and then you're adding.
Right.
So actually, it's 2d6 plus 7.
2d6 plus 7. Let's do it.
You get a +1 for having participated on a previous battle, like a previous conquest.
Yeah. Honestly, that's the part that Gortrix likes about Uther the most. Like, he's a good warrior.
And
all right, let me 2d6 plus 6. 15.
All right, that is your new passion.
Homage, Uther. 15. There we go.
Yeah, that's it. So perfect.
Oh, 7. Sorry. It will be 16.
Yeah. Okay, great. 16. That makes sense for a loyal lad that doesn't question where things are going. So we're gonna pick on Edward next.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
All right.
Pick on the boy.
So Edward, kind of same idea. What are you willing to? So how loyal are you to Uther, and how willing are you to proceed with where he's going? Like how much weight do you have from a patriotic sense in what he's trying to do here, and how much does it sort of trouble you to see the way that these initial sort of conquests have gone?
I think probably from Edward's case, it's almost a cynical loyalty. It's the whole, he's loyal because that's what he should be doing, and doing anything else would be treasonous. He doesn't necessarily trust in Uther's current vision, but he doesn't have a reason to go against it. As well, even if that was so, he's not going to betray his people.
Okay. All right. So in that case, I will get you to... actually, can you tell me what your loyalty lord is?
15.
Okay, 1 sec here, okay?
I think your hatred for Saxons is higher than your loyalty to your lord.
It is. It's much higher.
Those damn Saxons. Thinking they can influence the other kingdoms to not join up under our lord Uther.
Well,
it's their fault. It's their fault.
Well, kinda, yeah. They did cause a good number of succession crises.
And you know what? They're taking our jobs, too.
They murdered our own knights. We should be murdering our own knights.
That should be our job.
Mark, we're going to go ahead and get you to roll 2d6 plus 5.
All right. $12.
12.
That's suitable. It's like not something you would probably invoke before you invoked other thing, right? But it might grow if you were to be inspired or something like that. It might be a bonus, right? But I like the cynical approach. It's reflective. Why don't you go ahead and boost it to 13? I think it would be a better number for what you described.
All right. 13.
Because you're not outright like, you know, it's not like you lack a trust. Yeah. We're going to go lastly to Dallin.
Dallin time.
Right. Dallin, what's Dallin's loyalty, Lord?
So, I hope you weren't expecting me to be an outlier here, because Dallin does not care that much about their lord. They are loyal because they know that, you know, the better Dallin's service is now, and the more that they prove that their household is valuable, then the more the family is likely to be pulled up from its rather precarious situation right now. So I don't think Dallin really, like, it's not that he doesn't care, it's just he's not super invested in whether or not Uther rules the whole land, or what was taken from him, or what he deserves, or whatnot. But Dallin knows that if he's here and fighting, and he does well, then it could help his family. And he also knows that, you know, of course, stepping out of line too much could put him at the wrong end of the sword of some people that he likes very much. So he's going to avoid that as much as he can.
How much does it keep Dallin up to worry about what Uther might become in this? Like a king that would conquer and invade at the drop of a hat.
I'd say Dallin loses some sleep over it. You know, Uther's playing a pretty dangerous game here, and if he's not really careful, it could result in everybody suffering.
Gotcha.
So I'd say Dallin's pretty nervous about it, especially with the awareness of already some of the people that are supposed to be having his back are not doing that. So
it's fair. We're gonna give you the same as Mark then. 2d6 plus 5.
Okay. Exclamation point roll. Ooh, that's not spelled right. Did it? I don't think it cooperated with me. Hang on.
/R then.
/R. 2d6 plus 5. Bam. There we go. That's an 11.
All right. That I think you can bump that to 12. Well,
that tracks. All right, so I'm lowering my loyalty lord from 15 to 12.
No.
Yes?
You're adding
adding a new one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm adding a new one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Called homage.
Okay.
Uther.
Would fealty be better than homage?
This is like in the book. Like
Gotcha.
Characters have stats called this. It is specifically how willing you are. This is something you got as a result of Uther declaring this being his kingdom, effectively. And so this is your willingness, this is your passion related to, we're going to go out and conquest on behalf of Uther now.
Well, I feel exactly as strongly about that as I do of my hatred of the pigs. So lukewarm, slightly warm, just a little warm, just a little taste, just a little taste of heat.
Lukewarm.
All right, yeah. So that's the setup. We needed that because as we go through conquest, that can influence the number. Obviously, it's not your highest, so you're not going to typically use it right now. All right. So let's go ahead and skip forward a little bit. I think we can get underway. So, is there anything specific that any of the three of you want to add to the equation before you start out on your trip? Anything special you want to note?
Goratrix is perfectly happy to go to war so long as people aren't dicks about it. Like, so long as there's no, like, pillaging of villagers who aren't there, no, like, gleeful slaughter of peasants. He's there to be a knight and to fight other knights and get to victory quickly.
All right.
I think probably in Edward's case, he's starting to see a pattern as the writing on the wall is beginning to appear, and he's pretty sure this isn't going to be the last war they're going to be fighting. So at this point, it's just like, I don't know, just getting up Monday morning for a job he has to do. He's going to go do it.
Yeah, I like the glory.
I think Dallin's still got the Lady Knight fresh in his mind, and I think he's gonna do every opportunity to bring that up in conversation to people. Like, hey, what'd you think about a Lady Knight? Would you be potentially accepting of that kind of thing if she was our Lady Knight? That's weird, right? But like, is it that weird?
Such odd questioning from you, Sir Dalen.
I'm just, it's something that I didn't consider, and it's
Seriously, Sir Dalen, if this is like a woman you are interested in, be upfront about it.
I don't think that she is interested, but I'm still curious.
I think you would get along really well. You're both knights.
That's
Yes, thank you, Goratrix.
yes, but
I'm
I
going
feel
to
like
tend to
there's
the horses.
more to a connection than just that. Look,
Mark, give me an intrigue test. Just because you got a 3 in it, so it's pretty hilarious. Like,
nope.
yeah, right over your head. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that sails right over.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the trip itself, just talking about it, it's not that far away. You're not going to run into a whole lot of problems logistically crossing into Summerland. I think there's one thing I'm missing.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's right.
From beneath us, the earth trembles, and out of a yawning pit
Oh
comes
man,
the
I
King
wasn't
of Shades.
Again?
I wasn't expecting him until next Tuesday.
Yeah. So you hear some murmuring from the king, Dallin. Or wait, no, it was Gortrix at critical. Never mind. Gortrix, you did just in passing, as you managed to get close enough to King, you heard some kind of murmuring about Merlin. Weren't really able to pick it up, but he didn't sound happy.
Not happy about Merlin. That doesn't sound right. Merlin's great.
He
Is
won't
there...
return any of my phone calls, but he's great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is
Edward narrows
basically my
eyes.
pope. So that's just in passing. Like, there's no like opportunity to. This is just something I'm like overhearing.
Yeah, it's like him and his contingent, and it would be probably like a big mistake for you to try and stick your nose in that. Like they're
Yeah,
You
that's what I figured. And with the critical, it's just the ghost of his mother going, "No, no, you fool! Just go back to your tent."
You do see Sir Bernie Pants as part of that group.
Yeah, Sir Belias, it's good to see him again. Maybe we'll meet at the end of the battle.
He like nods to you in passing, but in that way of like making sure he doesn't look like he's not, he's just being polite as he walks beside the king.
He's being polite, talking to the king.
Is Sir Maddox here in the contingency, or is he somewhere
Prince
else?
Maddox you haven't seen him. He hasn't come to say hi. Very abnormal for him to do that sort of thing. But as you start about on the road, a couple of days in, Maddox approaches you. And within your general group, we're just going to go ahead and put together some knights that you know kind of thing.
Oh, we're going to have to kill someone.
Let's see. What do I want to show?
I'm just waiting for it.
We know a
Jareth.
knight.
Jareth is not here.
Good.
Right, then what is he doing?
Right?
If he's not in our direct eyesight, he's doing evil works.
We'll scroll down here to pull it up. So Elias and Matic are here, obviously. So is Count Roderick's not. But from Salisbury, Sir Lad is leading this, right? He's with you. He's the most. He would actually be represented as leader of Salisbury, since because of his position, because Count's not here.
Yeah, most.
Sir Morgan of Braverstock is here. The trio that you went into the forest are all here. Einian.
I'm
Cool.
suspicious about exactly one of those.
And Brinley are all here.
Mr.
I liked some of those lads.
I liked some of them too.
Right.
I didn't like one in particular.
Can't remember.
The guy
but
who kept madly laughing.
I can't remember, but I feel like one of them told a really funny joke. It's just escaping me though. I can't.
Yes, that worries me.
There's a recognize roll, right?
There is.
There is.
I'm going to let all of you test recognize and heraldry as Matic approaches with a couple of contingent.
All right, go get him, Mark.
One is. Oh! It's a crit on recognize.
Holy shit!
Perfect.
And a success on heraldry.
Very nice.
All right.
Very
Failure
nice.
on recognize from me, and a failure on heraldry from me. Same roll. It is as expected. But that's a good one, Mark.
Also a fail on heraldry. Also a fail on recognize, but that too far off either time.
Yeah.
Yeah, not far.
So, Mark, remember you get to check a crit whenever you crit.
I checked it.
All right, perfect. So, all right, so this is before he approaches. So, Edward, if you want to make a comment here to Thomas or Liam, you say so. But you see, as he's approaching, you recognize a couple of these. They're definitely Kingsguard that are with him. You'd recognize these as the twins. As they're often referred to. Think of them as brutish knight thugs, like just assholes, like the kind of guard that can rough something up. Basically, bouncers upgraded into the role, right? Like,
Okay.
think of the worst case sort of rough 'em up bouncer you can think of. That's what these guys are.
Okay.
And they ride beside him quietly.
I think in this case, just remember going.
Sorry, they're called
no.
the two, not the twins.
Okay. Oh, I was about to call them the Fray. Yeah. Oh no, it's the two. As he points off to the. Oh, subtly kind of points off to the Kingsguard-looking regiment riding with Matic.
But there are three of them.
No, they're tough-looking mercenary knights of sorts. Brutish types. I wonder what Maddox's doing with them.
I could take them.
I'm not sure if that's the point that Sir Edward's trying to make.
If they're traveling with the royals, like maybe they're bodyguard duty or sworn swords.
Would seem
By the
so.
way, I hope they're good. No, wait, you said "oh no" in front of it.
You see,
They're
especially their
brutal.
armor, you can see they're not very pretty when it comes to being knights. They definitely have low appearance. They are brutish, and there's just something about them that doesn't give you a sense of. I mean, chivalry is not too much of a thing at this point.
Yeah.
I
But
like
it's
Are
them.
they
still
known to be dishonorable, or nothing in that regard?
You did score crit unrecognized.
Big crit.
Their method of dishonor would go only as far as loyalty demanded. So they're
Okay.
willing to do as far as like mild war crimes or extending
Mild
efforts.
war crimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they're willing to
Small
do
war
things that are unnecessary if it adds to their reputation.
Just some light treason.
Cruel knights, cruel knights,
Cruel knights.
not cool
Ooh.
knights, not cool knights like you guys. They're cruel knights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're cool guys. They're cruel guys.
I think just as they cross, Edward would just say, even lower under his breath, so only his two companions can hear him, be on guard.
I'll watch them.
Matic smiles as he pulls in beside you, kind of waits for you to come by, and kind of rides in front of you. Slow your horses. Pulls in. How are the three of you riding?
Goratrix, Winterborn Stoke has a lot of horses and still does, despite the fucking bandit attacks. So he's on his war horse, and he has Roundseas that carries his gear along with him, and one spare. But right now he's on his charger.
I think Dallin is just kind of just playing it cool, trying to like follow everybody else's lead. This is not really an area that Dallin has much experience in.
I'm gonna do a roll here. See
Ooh.
who he ends up
Cool.
beside. That would be Goratrix.
All right. There's a lot of Goratrix to be beside.
Yeah, Matic rolls in beside you.
Prince Matic, it's good to see you again.
Old friends. Are you prepared for the road ahead?
Well, ready as I'll ever be. It has been a while since true battle without magical chicanery has been in my destiny.
Couldn't help but hear a lot of rumors on the way. Seems like some of our men are superstitious about this King Cadwy. Do the three of you feel resolved? Are you ready to proceed? Do not want... He almost says cowards, but he stops. Like, I've seen your bravery firsthand, but even the bravest of men can fall to superstition. I hope that is not the three of you.
You need not worry on my part. I do believe in his strength, but I was fully prepared to stab an eldritch god that shall remain unnamed, so I think I'm fine. I can be wary, but ready to throw down.
Edward kind of quirks an eye at this and then shakes his head.
Enigmatic. He's thrown off by that.
I will do whatever it is my honor would demand of it. I will always be valorous as a knight should. Yes, I'm sure this will be a challenging battle, but well, I've never been one to shy away from a fight.
Remind me, was it Dallin that got the finishing blow on Passions?
Correct.
Yeah,
I think so.
So I think he'll pat before Dallin can even speak up. Like, and of course, the brave Dallin would not worry about such parlor tricks. This is no worry. This is no Merlin.
In the end, I stand by my companions, as they have stood by me. One way or the other. If they're going, I am.
Good to hear. Perhaps
said Dalen.
My father's asked me to ride beside him on this one, but perhaps we'll find an opportunity to see each other on the field.
Indeed.
I should hope so.
So, Matic, if there is something I might ask, I've noticed you have chosen interesting company, as he looks off towards the two.
Ah, the two. Yes, their reputation is... well, it's suiting, to be honest. But in times of war, kings need tough soldiers, and they are certainly that. I trust my father's life in their hands.
Very well. I will trust in your words, then.
As will I. I'm sure they'll do fine. Incidentally, you mentioned Merlin. There is rumor around camp that he has been out of favor in your father's eyes. Is there anything to that? Should we be worried?
Worried. Worried's a strong word. My father, he is rightfully upset. He would expect this land's power, Merlin, to be beside him in such a thing. Yet he's absent when he needs him the most. We face a magician king, yet we lack our own.
It is worrying, but we can make do.
All right, and so with that, he kind of gets called by one of his men. He's like, I should return. We'll see you on the field.
Yes.
Under that, luck in
On the
battle.
field. Yes.
Okay, and then I think I'll keep the camera panned in on the three of you in case you have any follow-up banter you want to make there. Let me know if you don't.
For the first time, Gortrix feels slight doubt, because if Merlin isn't here, then Merlin disagrees with the whole thing, and he likes Merlin more than he does Uther, because he's his pope, and he'll say, I hope we are doing the right thing.
We are doing the knightly. We are doing the knightly thing. That is all that matters in this moment.
Indeed. Well spoken.
Kind of nods to himself. There's a little bit of doubt in his own eyes as they travel forward.
Gortrix does not notice.
I wonder, how would we potentially combat a magician king? I don't think Gortrix is going to be able to get close enough to punch it like he did the last time.
Well, it was a team effort there. I got in close and distracted, and then you both stabbed him from various sides. That did the trick. I see no reason why a repeat can't be possible. But perhaps he will see sense and surrender.
I think there is only one way we will truly be able to fight him if it comes to it. And that's with faith. With faith. Let us hope that God is on our side.
Yes. Let us hope this. That will be helpful. Says Gortrix, and you could see him
You don't have to pretend, Gortrix.
Okay,
it's fine.
good. Because I've been fairly open about my faith generally, but yeah, it seems kind of a faux pas now.
It's fine.
All right.
It's going to be a long trip.
As you ride a bit ahead, you see banners, a small contingent that was not riding with you, up ahead. They're holding their banners high. It looks like a peaceful exchange. I'll give you a heraldry roll. See what these are.
Oh no.
Let's go. Failure. Unfortunate.
Come on, Dalen with the clutch.
Dalen with the clutch. Dalen's coming in with the clutch. Here we go. Nope.
All right. I will give you, with a failure, I'll give you, they look familiar. Like you should probably recognize. And you've definitely seen them in the last year.
Did we go to war with them? Have we... God, this is worse than when I didn't recognize Sibelius. I'm sure we can ask someone about it discreetly. Oh, sorry, Sir Dylan.
That was pretty funny.
You see the king and his contingent have stopped to treat with them. A number of the knights continue on, and there's kind of this urge to, carry on, the king's business. you see that your own man, who I just forgot who your head knight is now.
Sir Elad?
Yes,
Sir
thank you.
lad.
I'm very tired.
Don't worry about it.
Um,
All is good.
So Elad kind of looks to the lot of you. He says, "You're young knights. You can get away with it. I'll leave it to your choice." And with that, the others ride on, like Einian and them. Do you ride on, or do you want to stop and hear this?
Gartrix is really kind of like, it's in the back of his mind. He should be recognizing it, and he doesn't normally. But he is going to look towards his more politically minded friends, Sir Edward and Sir Dalen, just kind of,
Sir Dalen just shakes their head like, why are you looking at me? What?
Edward is just kind of looking off towards the group with a kind of not quite sure what to do kind of look.
Let's do it. Worst case scenario, we blame ignorance.
Hmm.
So Gartrix is going to start trying to listen in.
Edward does the same.
So I'm gonna get you all to test awareness. You can add 5 to your number as a modifier.
Success.
Failure
Success.
just means it's very obvious that you've kind of you've had to push yourself forward enough to where like it looks like you're that person that doesn't need to be there, but you're there anyways, kind of thing. Do we have one from Dalen?
Not yet.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I'm rolling it. I'm much better at this now.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait, much better at this now?
Yeah, because I was worse at it before, but now I'm better, and I still
Gotcha.
failed. Yeah.
Why don't you start at a 10?
I think I started a little bit higher because my family bonus stuff.
Here's my question. Did you add 5 to it?
No, I didn't.
Then-
I didn't.
And that's
Yes.
a pass.
Then
You're
yes,
so
it would
right.
have been a success.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Okay, so all 3 of you then succeeded?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Would have been 17 of 20.
I'm not sure why, but it's not showing the rolls on the stream. Like it's not changing for them. There we go.
Huh.
Nope, still not working.
Scroll
Have you
down.
scrolled all the way down?
Yeah. I mean, if you, I'm just gonna do a refresh.
Oh, there you go. Fix it.
Did it?
They can see it now at least.
I still test roll.
I might be getting the stream like 10 seconds late. I didn't see it change.
I did.
Oh,
17 of 15. Sir Dalen.
It looks like.
there we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Yeah. Okay.
Not a
now
big
it's
deal. It
changed.
wouldn't be worth like stopping the scene or the stream.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine, yeah.
Take our word for it. We succeeded.
All right. So all 3 of you here. It doesn't take long to hear that this is emissaries of the Duke of Cornwall, Duke Orlois.
Ooh.
You hear. You recognize at this point those present are Cornwall, Ascalon, and Gigant. So these are emissaries from all 3 riding together. They're here to notify the king, and Uther's like, "What is it? What business is the Duke of Cornwall up to that is more important than a muster called from his king, who he bent the knee to?" You remember, all of you remember, in the rumors and gossip around that, he kept Gorlois, because you've been asking around about Gorlois a little bit, right? Having dealt with your own things. And if you haven't, you might just key in automatically. You remember hearing that he kept, when the Duke bent the knee, he kept him down there a lot longer than the others. Right. So the emissary speaks up and says, "The Duke would like to ask for your full forgiveness, my king. We meant to muster, and we were stopped by the enemy. We changed route, and we've been sieging the lands of Summerland. The Duke would like you to know that he means to fight for you, to his death, if may be." And with that, Uther kind of leans in, and there's an advisor beside him. Not an advisor you recognize. Uther nods. "Very well. I expect a full report of the Duke's war efforts by the end of this. Tell him for now to continue from the west." The emissaries are very polite, low bowing, very, very much playing this up. They know that the wrong move here could have them killed. This is still their king too, after all. This is a little different. This is like reporting to your super boss from your boss kind of thing, not reporting to another land. So, and it ends. You can definitely sense the tension. But Uther's face seems less furious than it did at the beginning.
Yeah.
And you hear him
After
actually
all.
turn, and he says, "We ride on." And with that, he puts his attention full force forward and carries on.
Interesting.
I recently got a new point in suspicious. Can I tell if these people were deceiving or not?
To tell is not that test.
It's
That
not
test would be
suspicious.
your.
Yeah,
I think
this
what you're
is me justifying attempting to make the roll.
right. No, it would make sense to me that you would test intrigue here to see if you have any sense of that. But I also think if you test it, you're testing suspicious versus trusting. We'll give you suspicious versus trusting.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll roll trusting, which I need to boost up. I need to be more trusting than I am suspicious. All right, that's a failure on trusting. That's also a failure, but a bare failure on suspicious.
Fair.
Interesting.
I'm so glad I didn't get a critical on suspicious.
All right.
My friends, I have found a hat made of this strange metal material. When I place it atop my head, I feel they cannot read my thoughts as they normally do.
If you failed both, I'm not going to make you tick either. So you simply you're uncertain.
Yeah.
All right.
It's probably fine.
Okay, so another day passes and you start to ride in towards the Summerland border. You find yourself alongside the other knights, Onion and the rest. You see Maddox come to you again. This time it looks a little bit more of a formal orders. The fact he's coming to you is going to warrant you plus 10 glory each, just for him coming directly to you. It's
Roger that.
definitely
I'll
not
put that in the glory tracker. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No worries. Maddox moves forward. He's got the two with him as well. Says, "Friends, we have our orders. It seems that King Cadwy has been spotted fleeing further into the lands, into the marshes themselves. This is troublesome, as it changes our plans a bit. We'll be raiding the lands, ensuring that they are not welcome. They are not in support of the Magician King, that he cannot use them against us. I would ask that you would all ride with me. We do so. These are the orders from my father. I do not want to disappoint him.
I see.
Edward
Oh.
just nods.
If
Well,
raiding
my-
is where we are bid. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. You have my sword.
I suppose, my lord, if you think that it's a challenge worthy of us, we'd be happy to take it.
If raiding is where we are bid, then gladly.
Raiding lands is, regardless of, you're welcome to have a chivalrous response to it, but it is, there's a bit of a game to it, I guess, right? Like it's something knights do on behalf of their lords to other lands. They raid, they take other knights captive and hold them ransom in return for money. They also can gather horses and earn other money equivalent, which will usually in this system just results in librum, additional librum. There's also a mention that the mines themselves have been flooded by those that work them, so they're trying to sort of essentially make your travel more difficult through these lands.
Deny us places to rest, less food to forage.
And it's also, I'll get all of you to give me a. No, we're not going to do that yet. I'll save that for a sec. I need to
Damn,
know.
I was on top of it this time.
Yeah,
I was all ready to push a button.
Well, actually, there is something to do here. We're going to get it out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
Do you intend to ride? All three of you intend to ride with Matic here? To raid with
If we
Matic?
have been, if we've been bid by him, yes. If there is, because I imagine there's two prongs now. One which is fighting with the besiegers, fighting the castle and the forces. The other raiding with Matic. A direct officer has asked him to help, so Goratrix will. And, if he's there, then maybe he can stop people from randomly butchering people. So,
All right. So the game of, I mean, you can stop like really obvious scenarios.
Yeah, really obvious stuff.
But the
as
game
it is,
of
killing combatants is fine.
Okay. So here's something to check for all of you. So this is often this is often a scenario where you can make income. But to make income, you do have to be a bit selfish. Like there is an aspect of raiding that comes down to, taking the knight ransom yourself. Looting sometimes might even be the scenario, right? So what are each of your lines? Are you going to seek personal wealth here, or are you dismissing that in favor of some honorable gesture, but still riding along nonetheless?
I'm not here to loot. I'm here to fight and do my duty to my lord. I'm, at the moment, fine for wealth. I could be better, but I'm not going to raid the lands that will be my liege lords very soon.
Okay. What about Edward?
I think Edward is far more interested in just taking part of it, as well as protecting Matic. He'd probably spend most of the time assisting him in his raiding, and kind of anything that they gain, he would be belongs to his liege lord, so he would be much more generous in that accord, I guess. He still partakes in the raiding, but probably just as much as Matic is.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Dallin?
So, last I understood, the financial situation for Darling House Dunford is not very great.
No, it's not.
So, especially seeing Edward participate, that I think Dallin's going to go ahead and take that as a permission granted kind of thing, and they will participate. But I'll tell you this: they're not going to feel good about it. Something's going to feel wrong the whole time. But hey, if it keeps Mom fed and keeps the suitors off of us for a little while, then that's fine.
All right. So we're going to give because you guys aren't. I get the impression that both of you are going to participate, and you are seeking gain, but you're not necessarily, balls to the wall, like trying to take everything you can. So we're going to give for Edward and Dallin. Go ahead and give me a D4. That is the amount of Librum you earn in this.
Nice.
2.
2 Librum will be added at the end of the year.
I think
that will
Dallin.
stay. That will stay.
Is there a step up? Is there a step above that Dallin can participate in?
Yes, it would be 1d6.
Oh man! Don't judge me.
I don't know. It depends on what you do.
I don't know. It looks like the dice.
Wow.
Looks like the dice gods have decided that I have taken the correct choice. They are rewarding
if
me
you
for this
rolled a 1.
hubris.
I think here's an interesting thing this might look like. So Dallin actually, maybe this is reflected in a horse. And Dallin's like, oh, perfect, a riding horse, and this is mine. This seems like an opportunity. And as you're riding away, you can hear that this is actually commoners, and they're like, they've taken the horse. So you realize as you're riding away that you are stealing from common folk here, not another knight. But you're kind of far away. You've already taken. It would be very difficult.
It'd be real awkward to bring this thing back. We're this is what we were ordered to do. Oh
Yeah.
God, that's worse.
Whoops,
That's worse.
Sorry,
now.
I took this.
Yes, it's worse now.
Oh man.
Yep.
All right. Well, hey, it's a nice horse.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been there, says Goratrix as he looks over the hill to see the despairing common folk.
Hey, Goratrix, you want to buy a horse for me?
I've got 7 horses right now, and that's all I brought into battle. I think I'm good.
Dallin can check vengeful.
Ooh.
Vengeful. Interesting.
Would it be more vengeful than it is selfish?
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. The book by default, this is vengeful. I think it's selfish given the scenario that you went through there. I think it's
selfish do be checked. It'd be checked now.
right. And then I think for Thomas,
Mhm.
you need to give me a D4 roll to see how much. Actually, no, you don't. I'm going to spare you that. You lose -1 homage, Uther.
All right. I'm fine with that.
You also check merciful and forgiving.
Oh, yay! All right, I've done so.
So, because the forgiving aspect of this is your right. As an enemy of the king, he is the enemy of this would-be king. He has sort of subjected his people to this. Right, this invasion.
Yeah, exactly. They're more victims than they are anything else, and
I
they
do
tried
wanna
to hit me with a
apologize.
pitchfork, but I've got armor.
I recognize what's going on in the world at the time we're currently doing this. It wasn't an attempt to do this. This is something that happens in the Great Pendragon campaign, and it's meant to be a test of the heroics, but also trying to build layered characters, which I think this game does better than most things. Does for you kind of things. Like part of the game is rolling to see how layered each character becomes.
Yes.
All right. These all test spiritual.
All right. Can I invoke a passion?
You may.
Oh no! Oh no, Edward. I would like to
Oh,
invoke
dear.
my love of family because I am pretty much the last fighting member of my entire family. I need to serve well so I can do well, so I can be a good knight and be a good family member for 6 more years until I no longer have to run things.
I would also, if it's at all possible, like to invoke my love of family, considering what Dallin just went
Yeah.
through. I think Dallin's probably compartmentalizing pretty intensely here.
I'm absolutely going to fumble. Watch this. Oh, there we go. Okay.
You love your
alright.
family slightly more than I do.
Yeah, I
And that
love my
results in a
family a
plus
lot.
10, right?
Oh no! Oh no! This is
Oh wow, that's
this fits.
That's bad.
this
This
is
is
going to be
bound to
really
happen.
interesting. Yeah, we haven't
Oh
done this
god.
yet. We haven't done this
No,
yet.
Yeah.
no.
So it's
No.
not happening right away. So don't worry. I'll explain what's happening here, and then we'll have to go through the rules to see what happens with a failure, a
Yeah.
fumble specifically on a passion, because it's bad.
I
Yeah.
told you guys. I told you guys that we burnt all of our crits in the first couple of rolls,
Yeah.
and this
Yeah.
exact situation was going to
Mhm.
happen. And sure enough,
No.
Okay.
That's bad.
shit.
All right. So real quick with Edward, I just want to ask Mark, because the question was asked after him, and I know we're still getting used to the system. Do you want to risk a passion roll, or you roll?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Okay.
You've
Yeah.
already got
'Cause
one
if
fumble.
I did, that would be a fumble. I'm glad I didn't.
Okay.
I'm very happy with the choices I have made.
All right.
Oh man. Okay. Does Sir Dalen still have to roll a spiritual?
Yes. Dallin, you have to roll a spiritual at what was it? Minus. Oh wait, you didn't just fail. You fumbled.
Yeah.
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 No. This is just going to be like an automatic thing for Dallin. Dallin, you're going to be going through some things, and unless you're critically succeeding, it's going to be failures for you. But it'll be really interesting, like story, I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure.
okay.
I'm excited. I'm bummed, but I'm excited too, you know?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think it'll be all right. We'll see.
Maddened.
Um, yeah, Maddened is not fun, but let's pause that because we're gonna get to that in a second.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the outcome, but we're gonna actually play through the man this time because man doesn't fit perfectly with what you're about to go through. So you notice like a very, very thick fog as you ride into Summerland, and it's definitely shaken people. As you ride, um, some of the folks begin to like cough, and uh, some of the knights start to stop, and it actually stops the raiding knights. This is like 2 days into raiding, right? You stop to camp early just from so many of the knights falling ill. So those that kind of actually that part will. Sorry, I'm trying to. My plans are deviating a little bit on the
Yeah.
fly here, so I'm stumbling.
Hey, not worry.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's good. That's the fun part of the game. The things you don't expect are always the best. So at the camp, you notice that there's lots of whispers of this being the fault of the Magician King. And I'm going to get you to test Valorous versus Cowardly here.
All of us, I'm
Cowardly.
guessing.
When
Is it
Valorous
all
and
of us or
Coward.
just me?
All three of you.
All
When
three
it
of us.
when it
Man.
comes to this, do I add a +10 to the cowardly as well?
No.
Gotcha.
And I am subtracting. I'm modifying it with a
Ooh.
subtraction, yes?
Yeah, you're subtracting with what it so you fumbled, so
10
technically you'd be removed right from the scene normally, but so like I said, you in your case, unless you're critically succeeding, you're failing your
Mhm.
rolls through this
Mhm.
scenario. I don't want to remove you from the scene like entirely.
Gotcha. So I'm
But
not modifying it. I'm just, if it's not a crit, it's a fail.
exactly.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Cowardly. Yeah.
Come on, Valorous.
And did you roll Valorous, Dallin?
Not yet.
Oh, I did not.
That was why I said, come on, Valorous.
There we go.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
So the assumption there is you're rather fearful here. You start to hear by the morning, you see the camp's a lot smaller than it was.
Where'd people go?
It
Did they
doesn't
leave
look they
without us?
they didn't break camp, but their horses are gone, and so are like any signs of them being here.
Oh, by the spirits, did they go and raid a little more without us?
I did not see them go.
They must have went while we slept.
Something doesn't feel right.
No. At this point, Edward would pull out his sword, ready himself for battle in case something might jump out of them.
Well, things seem
Looking
fine
into
to
the
me,
fog.
but I will trust your instincts.
You can all test awareness.
For better or for worse.
Sorry, I know, Liam, that's not the most engaging roll system, but if
Hey.
you get a critical, it
Hey.
might be super fun.
Yeah, dude. Hey, I'm good. Dallin's the one who made the decision. I gotta roll with it. I'm fine with that. I'm ready.
Success on my end.
And on mine.
Okay. Again, the rolls aren't coming through. Okay, so for those that succeeded at this, you can hear what sounds like fighting off in the distance.
Oh, no, wait. I get what you mean.
In the distance, like
Yeah.
probably a good ways. Sorry, I should have been more descriptive. Quite a far ways away. It's like a distant sound. You know that
Gotcha.
like you'd probably want to ride. Would be this could be a quarter of a mile, for example, a couple of kilometers. Probably not that far, a kilometer maybe. Across the open lands, you can't see that far. The fog is really, really thick today. You can barely see anything other than the three of you together.
Our allies need
We
our
should-
aid.
Indeed. We should probably get moving.
So, Dalen?
Okay. I'm fine. I just yes. Let's. Dallin is clearly scattered. It's kind of all over the place.
Oh, wait, hold one moment. Are you all right? Have you been injured?
No, I'm fine. I'm ready. Let's stay focused.
All right, let's. If you need anything. He's going to give a supportive gesture because I don't know if thumbs up are a thing. And yeah, he's going to go to his horse and get ready.
Edward's the same. Looking for the to the others as they get on their horses and very quickly kicking off and making his way towards the sounds of battle.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the three of you ride out together, I assume, right? All three of you together?
Yep.
It takes a few seconds for each of you to realize you're riding. The sound's not coming any closer. No closer. No closer.
They must be moving really quickly.
You say that, and you look, and you're alone on your horse. You succeeded at. So we're going to Goratrix first. So that's a perfect turn. Goratrix, you find yourself alone. You're riding through the mist slowly. As you say that, the other two are just all of a sudden gone.
Sir Dalen? Sir Edward?
Yes.
No,
Oh, no,
sorry,
we're not there.
you're not there. All of a
Oh.
sudden, the three of you are separated.
We're gone.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the Yellow King all over again. He's going to draw his sword.
You see the fog kind of fade and you find yourself at the center of a village. It looks like one of the villages you just rode through. There's not a surviving person in here. It's just terrible slaughter. Man, woman, child. You see a woman holding her child. She's in tears and she looks up to you and she says, "You did this? You did this to him. Murderer."
I didn't. I never struck a person who did not strike me first. I'm sorry that this happened, but
Give me a test here. So you succeeded
Alright.
at spiritual, correct? Previously?
Yes.
Give me 1 second.
I'm so glad I did. Jesus.
Right. So you're on top of so you already have your passion on top of that you
Yes.
succeeded at. You also get a +5 on top of that to any trait tests
Alrighty.
in this
So plus
particular.
15.
Wowzer.
Jesus. Alright.
So give me a test just versus merciful, or sorry, just and give test both just and merciful is what I meant to say.
Alright. Merciful going first. That is a 16. That is a success. And just. That is a critical.
All right.
Critical just.
You can.
Hold on, let me. It's not natural because I rolled an 18.
All right, then yeah, you don't take that automatic. So you what you just said is true. I should have cut you off and made you test before. You can
Gotcha.
feel a sense of these memories though, as you succeed in both. There's this faint sort of feeling tugging at the back of your brain, and you get these slight images of you having gone through with this cruel look on your face. It actually reminds you of the two, the way they looked as you ride through this town, wreaking havoc and slaughtering innocents, slaughtering the peasants, unarmed peasants, including this child. And you can tell instantly
Indeed.
this is not something you've done.
That's not me. That's not why I became a knight. And if everyone in this place died, which they didn't, I hope, you would be dead too. What's going on here?
The fog forms again. Edward, did you succeed at spiritual? Let's ask that outright.
No, I fumbled it.
Okay. So you will be facing.
And out of the fog comes the King of Shadow.
Oh shit!
You'll be facing a -5 to your trait tests here. Anything you're testing.
Okay. Cool.
Again, in the fog, you're alone. There's a moment you almost hear Goratrix's voice, and it says something, and then it sounds distant, and then you're alone. Then up ahead, the fog fades, and you find yourself no longer on a horse. You're in some sort of ceremony. You see Goratrix again and Dallin. They both look happy. And I'll for this one, guys, Dallin, and if you want to go ahead and play this, so this is the scene. The three of you are about to be raised to bannerets. You're a bit older, all three of you. You're prominent war heroes. You see Goratrix first go up, and he's raised by not King Uther, but you see a King Matic, about 10 years older. And you see yourself, or you feel yourself, you're aged. You know this. You've aged. You've gone through great many battles. First fighting for the conquest of Uther, and then when he fell, fighting for his son. Goratrix goes up, and there's great praise and cheers as he's raised to banneret. and then Dallin. Dallin also is raised. There's great cheer. Both of you feel proud. But Edward, as you begin to go up, everyone starts to laugh at you. Hear the breath. Hear the word bastard. Bastard being raised to a banneret. I'm going to get you to test modest and just for me at -5.
Okay.
So shameful.
There are a number of comments like that that come about after. And just because we're having trouble with this, if you want to go ahead and announce your roles, guys, just because it's not keeping up for some
Yeah.
reason.
3 on 7 for modest and a 9 on 6 for just.
All right, so you
Success or
succeeded.
failure.
All right.
And
That is not the worst
alright.
outcome.
We'll see how I go here.
No, not yet, Liam.
He's
Yeah.
doing
No,
okay.
I'm good. Okay,
Yeah, you're like a fake you right now. So,
that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
all right. So which one did you succeed at?
Modest.
Honest. I think there's a sense that this is you'll never be taken seriously as a bastard, no matter what great deeds you do, no matter where you're raised, you'll always be a bastard. There's no pardon for this. This is your destiny. But as someone who is modest, I think it's fair to say that Edward's learned to cope with it.
I think to an extent. I think it's, he's been a bastard all his life. Even when he was kind of given a position as a knight, nothing really changed. He was still like a nobody, only of half noble blood. The rest of it is muddy as the ground that he would find himself walking on the battlefield. And I think there's just this kind of hollow feeling in his heart overall. This kind of this is the way things are, and it doesn't feel right, but this is reality.
That works perfectly. All right, so we're going to fade from that, the fog reforms, and then we're going to go to Dallin. So Dallin's in a different scenario in the fact that this is not an easy ride for Dallin. What is going through Dallin's head is all of a sudden Dallin realizes he's alone amongst his fog. No sign of his friends.
Well, Dallin's got a bit of an inferiority complex. There's, for all their great things that they've done, they've never been on their own since the first couple of bandits that they fought. And I think probably while Dallin was resting, they had some real bad nightmares, specifically about being caught alone with specific things being revealed. So I think Dallin is flooded with a really intense paranoia right now. Just like every branch that stepped on sounds like somebody's following him, and every shadow is suddenly something moving. I don't think Dallin's necessarily afraid for their life. They're just afraid.
You find yourself returning to Durnford, but something about it is ominous. And as you ride in, one of the servants says, "My lord, Lord Perrin wishes to speak to you."
Perrin? Oh, okay, of course.
You know Lord Perrin. This kind of comes into your mind at this point. You failed spiritual, right? Because you needed criticals. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know Lord Perrin has been an excellent lord since he's come of age, knight. And you've been able to manage this charade, mostly out of circumstance. Dallin has had to continue resuming the role as a knight, not under trust of Lord Perrin. In this particular case, and it really doesn't make sense, it's not something that you would think on too much in this
Sure.
scenario you're going through as to why not come out with it with Perrin. All you know is you've been keeping the secret far longer than you wish.
Yeah, it's needed to happen. It's
Perrin
one thing leads to another, to another, to another.
Perrin himself is fairly regal, having been in this role for quite some time, and you recognize that you're older in this little vision of yours. Perrin sits, and he does not stand to greet you, but he instead says, "Please come forward, Dallin."
Lord Perrin, I wasn't expecting to be summoned. It's good to see you.
I didn't think that I would need to summon you, but circumstances are necessary, Elizabeth.
They often are, aren't they? How can I be of service?
You've hid this from me this whole time. How dare you?
It was necessary.
To lie to your lord, the lord of your house.
I
Before
yes.
you continue, give me an
Oh,
honest and
oh,
modest roll.
oh, honest and modest.
Yeah.
Huh, huh, huh. Oh God. Uh, let's hope I crit on one of these because I don't know. All right, here we go. Bada bing and bada boom.
He simply leaves you. He stands up and he moves to walk away from you, and he says, "You'll be returning that armor to a true knight, and if you have any birthing years left in you, we will see you married." And with that, he kind of moves to walk away. I imagine this is a scene where Dallin is sort of like trying to get his attention, and your
Oh
voice,
yes.
just nothing comes
Yeah.
to your voice, and you're riding again through the thickness, through the mist.
Oh, oh, don't like it. Don't like it. Don't like it.
All right. And then we're going to go ahead and. Oh, I'm frozen on stream. 1 sec. I'm going to go ahead.
I've been muting and unmuting myself a lot because I've been eating chips. And
No,
I'm very loud.
we're all frozen. Like
We're all
visually.
frozen.
Oh yeah.
It's okay. It's usually a
Ooh.
quick fix. Let me just see if I can change the cameras here.
I'm
There
just
we
in the
go.
perfect position.
We're back. We're back.
What a bunch of
Awesome.
handsome lads. There we go.
All right. So we then cut back to Goretrix. You see, as you ride through the fog, it fades a bit, and you see the moonlight ahead. Something about this place seems strange. You see a man, a knight. He sits atop a horse, cloaked in yellow. He lowers the cloak. You see the face of Einion. Sir Einion.
Sir Einion, how fares you? He's seen that yellow cloak before.
My nemesis, one that has not let go of things they've seen. You know that Carcosa comes soon.
And I will fight it to my last breath. Am I really a nemesis?
He draws, or he raises his lance and starts towards you.
My first question, is this real?
I don't know, is it? What do you do? Yeah? You have a
Well,
man
yeah.
about to charge you.
If Gotcha. Here's what I'm going to do. He's charging me. If this isn't real, I'm gonna be fine. But if this isn't real and I charge, I could be charging into something I care about. I want to fight this person, but I'd like to try to do it more defensively. I'm staying, but deflecting on my shield and striking with a shorter weapon.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be charging.
Yeah, you're going to be facing down a charge well mounted without facing it well, with a counter is a negative, right? So you're going to suffer.
Yes.
You're going to suffer a -5 penalty to that.
I'm fine with that.
You also realize that in this particular case, this one particular roll here, you do not have your passion.
Ooh. All right. Let's do this then.
Okay.
The odds are still okay, but I hope I don't fail.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
You make slaves of innocent people. Oh, by God, I hope I'm right. I am going to make that roll. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, bare failure. 1 off a crit.
Okay. I should have specified something. You do get to reroll because it's not your sword you are testing here. It's your spiritual. Or sorry, hold on. It's better than that. It's your valorous.
Oh. I didn't know that. I will do that. My valorous is worse.
But there is no penalty.
What,
You don't get to keep your passion for this one particular roll, but there's no penalty applied because you're not actually using a sword. I was supposed to tell you that, like, as kind of a switcheroo, and I didn't. I forgot the valorous piece.
Got you. Never mind then. I'm rolling valorous.
What this is, you're realizing this is not a real fight as it's happening, or not real in the sense that. And I'll give you this in a sec with once you test valorous. I'll explain it to you.
Test him now.
I don't see the roll.
I don't see it either.
Roll 20 being stupid.
Maybe.
There's no API for this one.
Yeah, exactly. That we can't go into it. Let me click it again. Yeah, and we'll take the first one.
Oh, there you go.
Which is a failure.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate, but better than striking at someone else.
Okay.
Ooh, this could hurt.
You take 19, but you can lower it by your spiritual.
By my spiritual... Okay, that's not bad. That's 10 damage. So my hit points go down to 22.
Your shield and armor are your spiritual. Like together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty. I take that hit and it hurts a lot.
You see him continue on. He continues past you, right? Because he is charging, and he moves to come at you again.
Ow, dick. All right, fine. I'm going to charge him now.
Are you? Okay. So you can, again, your weapon, it's not just your sword, your weapon is your valorous, and you can apply your passion at this point.
Gotcha. So I can or I can't?
You can.
Perfect. Let's do it then. That is a success. We'll see by how much.
All right. You are successful. You land your blow. So you trade better than he does in this joust exchange. You see him hold his side. Blood comes from it. But he turns nevertheless and prepares to come at you again.
Surrender now and face justice. Oh no, you're coming towards me again then. All right, make another valorous roll.
Yes, please.
Oh,
Right. So this time, exchange is positive. Let's see how positive.
Oh,
18 minus your spiritual.
yeah, that is another 9 damage. I'm looking bad. In fact, I think I got to my major wound point.
Are you applying both your? Let's just make sure you're doing this. For your top threshold.
I'm applying only my spiritual.
Right, and that's what you should do. But for your attacks, just want to make sure you're applying both your passion and your +5 for having succeeded at the spiritual on the test.
I didn't.
Okay.
I haven't been.
So your threshold
Sorry
is
about that.
5 higher. No worries. It hasn't mattered because you haven't rolled that high yet, right? But
yeah. In that case, my thing would be 5 higher.
5 higher, which would make you. That would add to your roll, right?
It would,
Yeah,
yes.
so it'd be a
after that
success,
point.
yeah.
So you would have succeeded. You would have beat him.
Sure. I'm fully prepared to take the damage because I forgot about the spiritual thing.
No, it's fine.
But awesome, sweet.
Yeah. So
I am glad.
Okay. So go
Let me
ahead
put myself back to 22.
and go ahead and deal damage here.
Perfect.
For sake of ease,
Oh,
just deal the damage you would deal as if you were jousting.
yeah. I didn't deal the damage last time. I didn't press the button because it wasn't called for.
Do that
Shall I
twice.
do it twice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
All
been
right.
calculating. I knew one wouldn't take him down, so
Yeah.
not a crit.
All right. 1 damage. 18. 2 damage. 13. Christ, that's 3 ones.
The first one certainly appears to hurt a great deal more than the second, and it looks like you're about to trade off again on another tip.
All righty. Let's do it. I had my suspicions. I never knew you'd turn on me in the field of battle. I'm fighting another wizard right now. Success. We'll see. Oh, yeah, he gets that.
All right.
Ooh.
Was that put you at?
That puts me at...
Do you face knockdown?
I do face knockdown.
Okay.
And indeed, maybe a major wound. I'm below 14.
Okay. That won't matter. So we're not going to hold on to that because this isn't quite realish to some degree, but it will reflect, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Give me a horseman. You're going to test again valorous for horsemanship. Actually,
Gotcha.
spiritual, because it's like a defensive response here. But you can,
Alrighty.
in this case, because you're testing spiritual, you're not just taking spiritual. You can apply your passion and your +5.
Perfect. Let's do it. Critical.
All right.
It is not a natural.
Okay. Well, we're gonna. I mean, this is not real combat, anyways.
Yeah.
So thematically, you get bent right over the back of your horse, and you just about fall. You drop your spear as you move past him, and with all your effort, you manage to climb back, like stop yourself from falling over entirely, and you find your hand right on the hilt of your sword, just ready to retrieve it. So you're in close quarters with him. You can actually take a strike on him here. So
Perfectly happy
if
with
this
that.
doesn't go poorly, this will be your rendering of the death of Ainian.
Shall I use my sword or Valorous again?
Valorous again.
All right, let's do it.
Remember the +15.
And that was an awful roll.
It doesn't
That was a
matter. In
natural
this
one.
case, it's not. There's nothing defensive here. So
Oh, good.
just thematic. Do you want to describe this thematically for us, though?
Got you.
Yeah.
He's been trading with a spear, it seems, and as it's knocked from his hand as he's taken wound after wound, mostly because he gave him a chance the first time. He feels the breath go out of him, and he feels like a large gash be formed on him, but he doesn't see any blood. And he gets knocked back with the force of a blow. He draws the sword and just dives off of his horse and tackles, stabbing Sir Einion in the throat.
You watch
Hooray!
as Onion pitches over and dead on his horse, and his horse continues to ride away. And you find yourself free of the fog and coming upon a tent. And then we're going to cut to Edward.
Alrighty. I like this a lot.
And there was much rejoicing.
Mm-hmm.
Edward, you find yourself riding amongst the fog, and then the fog starts to fade, and you find yourself in a small, familiar peasant town. Looks a lot like the one, well, one of the places you lived as for a while as a boy. But it's not. The memory of this place makes it different. You remember a winter here, a woman who took you in. It was beautiful. As you ride closer to her, you see a boy playing nearby. He turns to look at you and looks just like you. Please test chaste.
I know exactly what it is. Any negatives?
The -5 from the failed spiritual.
Cool. That's a
Hey,
success.
there you go. All right. In this particular case, sorry, I forgot to tell Thomas something there. I'll get to that at the end. Edward, you feel that this is real, but you know that you've never had any encounters like this. Something not quite right about it. And it's just about sinks in as the boy looks at you and says, Daddy? Daddy, why did you leave us?
Kind of looks for a moment, and then begins to look around the space and into the distant fog. Just shakes his head. Goes, no, this isn't real. No, I would never. I couldn't.
Couldn't what? The boy says. You see him age. Now he's a teenage boy. A young knight, it looks like. A young squire. Sorry, an old squire. Soon to be knight.
I couldn't let another grow up through the same things I did. I would not allow a bastard of my blood to be born, for it would not be fair to them. You are not real. And if I have my way, you will never be real. Because this is not a good life to live. It is lonely. It is painful. I am a nobody. A bastard. And I will make sure that I will create no bastard by my name.
Give me a chaste roll. Or sorry, no. You already did. That's my mistake. What I meant to say is please check chaste. As the woman begins to laugh and the fog clears and you see a tent that you're coming upon, you're back upon your horse.
He'll take a moment to take a deep breath, shaking his head as he kicks in his horse's flanks to move forward, kind of off-put by this whole scenario.
Dallin, as the fog begins to clear again, you find yourself amongst familiar faith. You are older again, having just dealt with this encounter with Perrin, the lord of your house. Now you find yourself face to face with your brother, Dallin. You sense that this is like a continuation of your encounter with Perrin. Now it's your brother, Dallin, who you face.
Right.
You find yourself dressed as Elizabeth, as a woman, and you hear the faint sound of children playing.
I don't understand.
Isn't this right, my sister? I must admit that I was ashamed to hear that you rode in my stead. But it pleases me to know that you did the right thing for your house. You did what Perrin wanted, what is your duty. That is all we all must do in the end. And I suppose in a way I caused this, my absence. I assure you it was not on purpose.
I don't understand. I thought you might.
You became the
I
maiden you were meant to be in the end. Now you have a strong family to raise.
but I thought I could have sworn that there was a battle that needed to be fought.
Test just for me.
Just.
You can feel this very presence. You can hear one of the kids call out to you from behind, "Mommy!" And you realize that none of this is everything you've never wanted, everything that could go wrong for you is going wrong. This is a nightmare, but feels so real. You sense in this brief moment that you can linger here, or you can turn and run. You can flee this scenario with your brother, your lord, your children, or you can run from it, continue to pursue the path you have.
I'm not sure if Dallin knows what to do. I think a big part of Dallin is convinced that they need to stay and do what's right here. But I think Dallin, like, his mind keeps getting drawn back to that night that they met in court and how she was knighted, without any kind of hiding or anything like that.
Yep.
And Dallin, just for a moment, says to her brother, she goes, "I'm sorry. Wish it could be that simple. But my responsibilities have not yet been met. There's more I can do." And before she has a chance to say anything further, before she has a chance to get anything more profound out, she just runs. She just like takes a couple steps back and just keeps running.
Okay, perfect. And we're we're going to pause you there because that'll be now we're almost done with this scene, so this will be perfect. We're going to pause you there because this will be the last time we see Dallin for a little bit. So
Yeah.
no, it's good. It'll be fun. I think if nothing else, it's going to be super fun. But I'm gonna
Hey,
get.
I'm all gravy, man. I'm all good.
So
It's a good story. It just sucks for Sir Dalen.
So here's the fun part. So Thomas, you tested. You were the only one that succeeded at the original spiritual roll, right?
Yeah,
And you overcame both your scenarios. So you get
barely
to
for the second one.
yeah, you get to test spiritual at +9.
Got you. Does that include the earlier +5? I don't think so.
No, it does not.
Okay.
It does.
Gotcha.
Sorry, it does include it. It does include it. You don't get to add it a second time. It's 5 + 2 for each of the 2 trials.
Got you. Got you. All right. So it's going to be this, not 190. All right, let's do it. Critical. That is a natural critical with the +10.
All right. Do you have spiritual checked already? You do, right?
I do not at the moment.
Okay. Check it and add 1 automatically.
Hell yeah.
So
Love that.
your other one has to reduce, right? You have to have a total of 20.
Yeah. I like being less worldly.
Now we're going to go to Edward. You're also going to test not suspicious, spiritual. You succeeded at one of your trials. Actually, you succeeded partial success at the other two. So you have but it's a +3 that works out too. So you succeeded. You got +2 for the second trial, +1 for the first trial, and then you're rolling spiritual on top of that.
Okay. Do I also have the negative? So it'd be -2, I
Nope,
think.
that negative.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Crap. Right, because
-2 then.
you fumbled it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here we go. Crossing my fingers for luck. That's a failure.
Okay.
Oof.
You get to tick worldly.
Okay.
On top of that, you are coming out of this very clearly ill. You don't feel well.
Okay.
And I should note for Goretrix, if you failed that roll, you would be coming out of this. Your wounds would manifest as major illness, basically. So.
Oh, so am I fine?
You're fine. Yeah.
Thank God I was low.
Dallin. Now it's Dallin's turn.
Hi.
Dallin's gonna.
I'm Dallin.
You're just rolling spiritual because it doesn't matter unless you get a 20. You know.
Yeah.
Come on,
Spiritual,
big
there it
money.
is.
Big money.
That's a fumble.
Well, he got a 20. You did this. You did this, Bob.
Okay. No, this is perfect. All this means is you're going to raise your worldly by 1, lower your spiritual by 1, and then tick worldly.
Okay. Worldly by 1.
Yep.
And then tick worldly as well?
Yep.
I think that's fair.
And you are, so Dallin is, and I'll explain where you are. You are in, what's it called? What's the fumble level? Is that madness? Is that what that is?
Maddened, yeah.
Maddened. So you're like the equivalent of when Lancelot, like after getting exposed, like flees off into the world. That is your Dallin scenario right now. Don't worry, I've got some really cool stuff for you lined up already.
Hey, I'm all good, buddy. It's all good.
I wrote
I know how these games
contingencies
work.
for if these things backfire, so it's good. It'll get interesting. The worst part,
You weren't
those that
maddened
fail the
by-
end check, you are incapable of calling on your passions for the remainder of 482.
Oh, Jesus.
Woo! Goodness.
Ooh.
You are without like a bit of life's been sucked out of you to go through those scenarios. You're not walking out positively out of those scenarios, right?
Well, I feel great. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
So we cut in. We're near the end. But you. So we'll just focus on Edward and Gortrix as you enter. You near the tent. You both recognize the king's banners ahead, and you can make heraldry rolls for the other banners.
This is the first time I have a chance in succeeding at heraldry.
Success.
I still don't.
Okay. Edward, you recognize this is the Somerset banners. Specifically, this is King Cadwy's banners. So his bannermen are around this tent. So are the King Uthers, and so are the princes. So it looks like
Right.
as you come upon it, you actually see Matic, and it looks like the kings are meeting in a parley of some sort.
Goratrix looks bewildered, not because of what has happened, but because of what happened like 2 minutes ago. And he just looks to Edward, like sees a spot where Sir Dalen isn't, and looks to all of the people just parleying. His sword is out because he expected to be fighting.
Edward's just kind of staring off into nowhere at the moment, looking at the banners and the large tent. Just seems to almost be just kind of barely there. Not really in complete focus. And kind of pale looking.
Sir
Dallin.
Edward,
Yeah.
are you all right?
Sorry, go.
Oh, sorry,
go
you
ahead.
go.
No, I'm done. I'm good. Never mind.
Alrighty. Sir Edward, are you all right? Did you see the same things I did?
What did you see?
I was yelled at by a lady for killing her child, and then I was stabbed by Sir Einion, who still worships the Yellow King.
I think we have been befelled by sorcery.
I think so too. I know not who are in these tents, but if we come across the king...
Yes. Let us move forward.
Yeah, and Goratrix will move up. So we see this large tent. Do we see anyone like outside the
Yeah.
tent, like milling around?
You see bannermen from both Summerland and Logris here. Logris
Are we
being.
getting? Yeah. Are we getting weird looks?
Are you riding with your sword still out?
2 seconds ago, he was fighting.
Yeah. Are you continuing to ride forward with your sword?
No, if the people of like various different factions aren't fighting, he is going to put it back, but he's going to be very weirded out by the whole scenario.
You see Matic in the crowd, in the bannerets.
Goratrix will dismount and with long loping strides will go over to him and go, "We were separated. There was this magical fog. What had happened? I think I got stabbed."
You too must have fell to the illness, some kind of plague or something of the sort. We seem to have
Yes.
lost many men, came upon many that were sick on the ground. There's the
There
No,
was
I'm fine.
There was no simple illness, Zomatic. It felt like something else entirely.
he just
Like
looks at you two. Anyways, the king and Cadwy are meeting. From what I gather, it will go well.
It is good that we are seeking peace, but it is an unexpected turn of events.
Unexpected indeed. I expected foul play, but the two are in there. I have not heard father's raised voice. It's a good sign.
The king, he ensorcelled us. There was a battle in my mind, and I won it, but only just. That is why I think I am not ill. Prince Madoc, if you will, I would like to speak of things later about the raid. Some things did not sit well with me, but now, as long as there is no fighting going on, and he's going to like warily look at the Summerland people, I think we are fine.
Indeed. He looks at you like you're crazy when you mention all this stuff about sickness and.
Goratrix looks fine.
With that, I think we're going to fade there. There's
Alrighty.
news that comes out from the tent. Hadwi has accepted a role as a vassal of King Uther. And I don't have the note handy about what he is. Actually, I do. He's named Count of Summerland.
Count of Summerland.
So yet another opposition has. So this one
Indeed.
mildly peaceful.
It could have been more peaceful, but
When we did
as
burn
it
down
is.
some of his people. Yeah.
I did want to note, so this is that interesting price of what looks like the freebie, right? The freebie you get for a roll in a passion.
Yes.
There's a 1 in 20 chance that it's the worst thing that could ever happen to you in your entire
Full
scene.
on.
But it's, from what I've ever seen of this system, it's short-term pain, but it really defines the character. Like, you think about what that did for the story, right? And as long as it makes sense, I've seen it used at times where it's like really hard to make sense. I think that made a ton of sense for Dallin. Honestly, that was like a lot of character development for Dallin.
Yeah, Dallin's having a bad time.
So,
but that's good storytelling.
so the good.
The way you did it. Sorry, you go.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
The way you did it was so thematic and in line with their character, and it was so deliciously ironic because it happened like 5 minutes after Prince Madoc was like, "And you, I know of your bravery. Your bravery's good. You're not going to be scared.
You're not going to bail. That doesn't sound like you."
So I'm going to think about the logistics a bit because I do like to have us all on screen. But what this is going to look like is this upcoming. If you recall, this will be even more hilarious because we're going to be missing Dallin for it, which is if you remember, you've recently been conscripted to join a matchmaking party for the Count, and now you're missing Dallin.
This is going to be terrible.
Dallin actually will have a solo adventure coming out of this. So there will be, and I'm going to think about what to do. It might make sense to do like a scene or plot A, plot B kind of thing with it, and go back and forth between the two to get us all four of us on. But I'll round back with the three of you as I brainstorm. I need to chew on that.
Exciting.
Yeah,
very much
because
so.
it'll be a lot of dead air for when you're not on screen. It'll be a lot of dead air, and I need to figure out which one will work better. So I'll probably pull the three of you offline and then come up with my own plan from there. This will be what our future episode is going to look like.
Yeah.
Hope you had fun.
Exciting. I certainly did.
Definitely.
For better or for worse.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's not a role-playing game unless your character absolutely hates you.
I feel like this game too. It's such a high level of possible failure in so many different ways, and it's just kind of like, but it's always geared towards things like traits and virtue. Like I don't know. It just sort of writes itself in a lot of ways.
Definitely, yeah.
It's not just like, oh, you failed this really important thing. Oh well, sucks for you. All right. Let's go ahead and do. I'm gonna wait till Thomas talks and then pass him the outro or eats. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go first. So you're good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thanks again for watching. I'm Bob. I guess the only exciting news or thing I want to pass on is I will finally be on another stream at some point, which I've kind of always wanted to play around with. And it's one I watch, which is super fun. And I'm mildly nervous just to go play with people that I watch on stream somewhere else for a cameo episode. So I'm not sure if I'll be playing a villain or a good guy. So I can't even hide that if I wanted to, because I don't know yet.
Oh
Find
yeah,
out.
get the best NDA.
The stream is AP Gaming Real. He does a whole bunch of stuff. It's his Oath of End of Steel, which is like Pendragon meets BattleTech. So it's a bunch of I guess future space knight thingies going on there, and they have their own planet, and they're kind of the big dogs on their planet. So it's a pretty cool story. I've really enjoyed watching it. They play like full BattleTech when they sit down to do that. I can't remember the name of the role playing system, but they overlay that on the top of it. And yeah, that'll be super fun. That's all I got for new interesting stuff. Other than we're gonna try to continue with a fairly steady schedule here. I'll pass it on to Thomas.
Alrighty, I have finished eating, and thank you very much. Yeah, I'm Thomas. I've had a great time here. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. And when it comes to your other stream, I will be there watching and applauding at various appropriate points, provided it happens at a time where I can be awake and sane during Australian time.
I should know. I'm not sure if it actually behaves like a stream, and it definitely won't for non-Patreon. I think it's one of the Patreon perks of like the $2 one or whatever once.
Gotcha.
And anytime
I'll
you
be
get it
there
live,
in spirit.
you can YouTube comment. That'll be where it's hosted. So, and I'll definitely send a link
Yeah,
out.
that'll be it.
It also is the reason why I was encouraged to play Pendragon. I'm totally taking over your spotlight, so I apologize. But
Don't worry about it.
the whole reason I was encouraged to play Pendragon is I saw someone run it on a stream, and it looked just like the style I like. Like it fit my style, which is not the 1980s and 90s style of gaming. It's cool to see someone that has like more of a thematic background that likes games like more narrative based games, I guess. Run it. I could see the power in it when someone ran it that way. So yeah, back to you, Thomas.
Thank you. I ate again. But yeah, there's basically nothing else to say. You got me right at the end of it.
Perfect. Mark.
Farewell.
Oh, hello, I didn't see you there. I was just checking out our handy dandy Discord. By the way, did you know we have a Discord? Come check us out on it. You can find the link on our YouTube channel, which you can find through Twitch, or if you're already watching on the YouTube channel, it's easy to find there. And yeah, we sometimes put reminders in there when we're streaming and funny memes and shit like that. Yeah. Mostly
So
memes.
smooth.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been Mark. I hope you've enjoyed. Those of you watching live or watching on the YouTube channel later on, and I hope to see you guys next week or next episode.
Hell yeah.
Woo!
Woo!
Thanks, Mark and Liam.
Hi, I'm Liam. I was Sir Dallin of Dunford. Potentially emphasis on was. We'll see. I had a wonderful time. I'm so glad to be back, and I look forward to being back next week. I hope we have lots of fun people join us and watch us and laugh at our exploits and maybe cry even too.
Indeed, yeah. It'd be good to have some more followers, you know, and people that can, you know, we can riff ideas off of too. There's always, you know, people that probably know the systems better than us, and they're like, hey, at 4 minutes and 53 seconds, you did this wrong, and we'd be like, oh, thank you.
Oh, it is helpful.
Yeah, indeed.
Yep.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching, and see you next week.
See you, everyone.
Bye.